What up, hogs? Throw your record player in the trash and make sweet love to your hard drive with the biggest magnet you can find, because there's a new, better way to listen to music. All listeners will now tune into the music streaming machine. This is your god, and this is Super Despair World, the only podcast that hasn't submitted to Spotify yet. Except I think maybe we did. I don't remember. I don't handle the uploads. We're singing a different tune today. Play the episode.
Well, all right, welcome to the show. This is Super Despair World, the best podcast in the world. You're doing a great thing here by listening to it. This is the beginning of a new format where we are releasing main episodes, not as much as we used to, but they're going to be more high effort, as I hope you'll see here.
They're big, and, they're meaty, they're big and round, and they're coming at you in 4K. It's going to be once a month, but to make up for that, we're doing a lot more bonos, so check those out.
Yes, yeah, so go on Patreon if you want to hear us talk shit in a slightly less, like formatted way, or not, whatever, you do you, but, and you can listen to this on none other than Spotify, which is the topic of this episode. Briar, do you use Spotify?
Not even a little bit. I think I've actually gone on some long tirades on this very show about how I will never use it because I'm a boomer who loves sorting all of my MP3s manually off of my hard drive into iTunes.
Fuck yeah. And if you've never experienced that joy of sorting through a completely legally obtained, by the way, MP3 collection, you should do that.
Although,
you should.
Although I will say, I think I did install Spotify a few months ago. I think it was like to listen to a particular podcast or something. I don't even remember the reason why, but it was like installed onto my PC, and that shit was like, it was like fucking malware. The way I had to go out of my way to uninstall it because I'm on Windows, and it's not even like an installed program. It's like a Windows fucking app, and that took me like an hour to figure out. So fuck Spotify. I hate that shit. It is malignant.
So you downloaded it to listen to the Joe Rogan podcast then?
Purely for research, for science.
Gotcha.
Because they're full of scientists on the show.
Yeah. Tons of very notable scientists, some psychologists,
some lab monkeys as well.
yeah. A lot of apes on there. So yeah, I have used Spotify before. I think I got it after I was very resistant to using this. I did use like Pandora in the past because it like integrated with this old car that I had.
I loved Pandora when I was in middle school. It was great for finding stuff back before algorithms were quite as like ubiquitous on the internet.
Yeah, so they had that thing which was like the Music Genome Project or whatever, which was like a cool idea, I guess. And they kind of tried to like categorize songs into a bunch of different metrics to kind of like make them algorithmically, play some shit. If you like this artist, you might like another one, which sounds great on the surface.
All until it was like single-handedly ground to a halt by trans women arguing whether or not Sewer Slut is breakcore.
What is that what happened to Pandora?
No, I have no idea. That's just the only like genre minutia I've ever paid attention to.
Well, that makes sense. But
it is, by the way. Shut up. So, anyway.
So I used a couple. I used that, and then I think I tried Tidal for a minute, which like it was all right. I guess they pay more, but
all I know about Tidal is like it was set up by some like big hip hop guy, right? And I remember it sounded.
I think it was Jay-Z. I think it was Jay-Z.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and like that's cool. I don't know. It seemed like there weren't really any deep cuts on there or the shit that I wanted to listen to, so I got rid of it.
I had no idea Tidal was still going until like a few days ago, if I'm honest. It's been years.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Pandora is still around, but I don't think anybody actually uses them. Maybe like a department store or something just throws it on for background music, but a lot of them use Spotify now for reasons we'll get into in a minute. After much kicking and screaming, I was eventually convinced to get it because I had some friends who used it. People are sending me Spotify links all the time, which I find incredibly annoying. Like, if you don't have Spotify, I think you're only allowed to listen to like a small snippet. So people just assume that you have Spotify.
Yeah, it's one of the worst cases of like modern web design where it's like, oh, you go onto any website and it's like, sign up for this thing. Oh, do you want to accept our cookies? Oh, make sure you join this thing. Save 20% now. I fucking hate it now. It sucks browsing the internet.
Right, and self-proclaimed music enjoyers were really on that shit. I thought it was all right. Just because it does have like decent integration with some stuff. I used it to because you can send tracks to like last.fm and like keep your your play history and stuff like that, which last.fm is like a decent site. It's not amazing.
Is it still going? I haven't used that in like 10 years either.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy. Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, but like I think I canceled Spotify like a year ago, maybe a bit more. And my real reason with it, and like even like years before, people who were complaining about like the payouts suck and stuff like that, and like that's true, and that's the thing that everybody brings up. But I think that's kind of the least egregious of a lot of the problems that I personally and a lot of others have with Spotify. My biggest issue with it is that the UI fucking sucks. Like, it's really
dog
bad.
shit, man. I hated it. Every time it launched, I don't know. I went out of my way to uninstall it. It was just such a pain in the ass to look at every day.
Well, it's like, okay, like I want to listen to this album. It's so hard to like search by like artist or album or something like that, or find like individual songs. They're constantly pushing these bullshit like playlists and discovery stuff at you. And it's not just like it's not just a tech platform just trying to add annoying features that nobody really wants. They've kind of made that their entire thing, and it's not just because like they think you'd like it. There's again a lot of reasons for that we're gonna get into, but like
I will say, I think my own like powerful aura of autism like protects me from this, because like I've just never been a playlist person. I feel like the way I listen to music is I get a compulsion to listen to one song that I like, and then I listen to it like 30 times until I'm sick of it, and then I turn off music for the day.
Okay, I mean that's a unique approach to music, but I think that's all right. I think that's all right because a lot of people will do that with albums, and nobody poo-poos that.
I mean, there's a few albums I will listen to from start to end without issue, and like sometimes I'll turn on to a different song, but whatever. The point is, like, I don't know. I realized lately that everybody listens to playlists now, and like I'm the weird one for not doing that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm inculcated against Spotify.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of reasons that I think streaming in general sucks. And I think it's kind of a shame that we have kind of just adopted this wholesale as like the only way to listen to music. Like one anecdote I have is there's this album by a Swedish guy. Big shout out to the Swedes. His name is Jens Lekman, and he has an album called Night Falls Over Kortedala. I think that's how you say it, at least. But it's an interesting album because he does this kind of like crooner singing style, which I know is not everybody's thing. I certainly am not like into crooners in general. I don't listen to fucking Sinatra.
Swedish crooner
I am
was
Italian,
was my
but I'm
nickname
not.
in college.
A crooner or gooner?
Well, things happen. Anyway.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, maybe you misheard it. But yeah, I am Italian, but I'm not that old, and I have better taste than that. But hey, yeah, sorry, Sinatra fans. Get fucking shots fired. But the reason I think it's interesting is he uses a lot of like samples from like old, like, you know, like disco and like funk songs and like doo-wop and shit like that.
I don't know how it works for music. That stuff isn't like public domain yet, right? It's just like a fair use sampling thing, right?
So this is the thing. I mean, in my opinion, and I guess this is debatable legally, like I think sampling should be fair use because it's transformative. You know, you're not. It's like the argument for this is kind of like. It's the same thing of like somebody, you know, like putting on a copyrighted song when they're like streaming or like a few seconds of it. It's like I mean, the idea of it is like, oh, well, you know, if it's just like available publicly and somebody puts it on, like, why would you like buy their album or like listen to it, you know, legally, and they're not going to get any money for it. And that totally makes sense with somebody just like uploading somebody's music that they don't own to like YouTube or something like that. But like, who is just like, oh man, I really want to listen to this song. I'm going to play this like VOD from a Twitch streamer and just keep fast forwarding and rewinding to this part and listen to it with them like shouting at chat over it. Like it's fucking dumb. But especially with streaming, like with sampling, it is transformative, I would say. But you know, like labels and many artists, even bigger ones under big labels usually are, you know, they're kind of fucking greedy and they want to get as much as they possibly can. And you know, like that's whatever. But my thing about this is like, so I guess, so I had this album for ages. I found it when I was like in undergrad in college, and I tried to listen to it on Spotify when I had it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was just like this like really like dialed back version of the album. It almost seemed like kind of acoustic, and I was like, well, this fucking sucks.
Was there like a weird droning noise telling you to like put on a dress and heels as well? That's happened to me before.
Maybe that's what it was about. But I went on Wikipedia, and it turns out like he couldn't clear the samples. So like when he got like bigger, or like I don't know if he's signed to a label or whatever happened, he had to like re-release the album without any of the samples.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's shit.
That sucks. What the fuck?
And that sucks. And that sucks for him and everything. But like, I'm glad that I have that. Like, I own that album. I have the digital format of it, legally acquired, of course. Don't worry, Jens.
Of course.
But yeah, of course. But like, if we only stream that original album, which was fucking badass, would just be gone. It would just be gone, and it would be replaced with this, you know, like DMCA friendly version of it, which fucking sucks. I'm gonna be honest, it fucking sucks. It lost, like, you know, his original intention, obviously, of making these songs in this album. So yeah, so kids, basically what I'm saying is make sure you hold on tight to the albums that you love, because they might just get taken away for whatever reason. And
I mean,
and we're also seeing that with,
for me, this is like a big reason I can't stand the like streaming, like everything is always online. You see this a lot with like video games and like fucking everything nowadays, right? Where it's like, oh, for the sake of like preserving things digitally is just like a dog shit thing, because at any moment, like, whoever owns the rights to it, and it's like not the platform itself that's hosting it, could just come in and be like, yeah, we're removing this, we're taking this away. Like, oh, you want to watch your favorite show, well, there's season 1 on this one service, and then season 2 is somewhere else, and then nobody has season 3, so you can't watch that legally. And it's like, I don't know, it's just such a pain in the ass. I can't stand everything being always online these days. I think people should keep their music like locally stored, so you can just like enjoy it without worrying about any of that bullshit.
Without question. And you see that with everything now. This all ties into the overarching idea of like the enshittification of the internet and everything. That's why all the software that you use is turning to like subscription models, which is not always a bad thing, but it usually is, just because, you know, companies gonna be doing company shit. But
from everything I've seen of like watching YouTube videos about like quote unquote lost media, it's kind of crazy how often like something will completely like disappear from public forever, and then it turns out, oh, some random person in like Minnesota or some shit just had it on their hard drive, and like it's cool that we can preserve things that way. And it's like, oh, the streaming services do not like that.
Yeah, and with a lot of like shows and stuff, it was just like some dude happened to be like taping it on VHS when it was like on the TV. You know, if it wasn't for that random person deciding to tape that and, you know, like keeping the tapes, it would just be gone forever, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, you never know if your fucking MP3 is going to be the last time someone like actually had a recording of whatever that audio is.
True, which is why I put it on a USB drive, which is dangling around my neck as we speak.
That's why I've put all of our recordings of this show on a hard drive that I've buried in a shallow grave.
Good. And yeah, don't tell me where that is, because if they torture me, I'll give it away in a second. I have no time.
I've set up my phone to text the location to like 5 people who I trust in the event of my death.
Okay, that's good. And then like with Spotify as well, besides the UI being shit and then all of the, you know, like the weird stuff going on and you know, just like them not paying people and generally just being weird. Daniel Ek has been in the news lately.
Fake name, by the way. I don't trust anybody like that. That sounds like some anonymous bullshit.
Seriously, I don't get it. Like what's the deal with Daniel Ick? More like it.
Right, it's like a bowel movement. Ick.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to. You know, I don't want to like disenfranchise any of our Swedish listeners who might have the name Ek. I'm sorry that he did this to you. Don't blame us. Blame him. But yeah. So, all right. If we're gonna talk about Spotify and where we're at now and why it all sucks, we gotta go back in time. We gotta go back to the beginning of it all. By the way, the stuff I'm going to talk about here, I read a couple books. I did learn how to read. Yeah, the 2 big ones that I got a lot of this info from, highly recommend, by the way, is Dirty Little Secrets of the Record Business by a dude named Hank Bordowitz, and this was published in 2007, but it's still relevant in a lot of ways.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, you could say.
True, and it's really funny because it made a lot of predictions, and some of them did not age very well, and some of them were pretty spot on, usually in like a very terrible way. And then the other one was Mood Machine by Liz Pelly, and she's been in a lot of interviews lately talking about the book and you know the research she did. Highly recommend.
I watched a couple of those interviews to prepare for the show today, and not to like get too ahead of ourselves, but after watching those interviews, the word chill now like sends me into a frothing rage the same way words like cozy do.
Yeah, and vibes, chill
Vibes. Fuck. Vibes
yeah.
might be ruined for me as well now.
Oh, they're all ruined. They're all ruined, and yeah, that's kind of how it works. These companies just appropriate shit. They fucking turn it into their own, and they ruin it, and now we can't use it anymore. God damn it! But
posting on Blue Sky that I'm thinking of ending it all, and the Walmart pet department asked me, "What's the vibe today, Briar? How are you doing?"
Yeah, you need some chill vibes to
need to get cozy.
I don't know. Yeah, to get cozy too. That's the only way you're gonna do it. And if you're not cozy, just throw on the Cozy Vibes playlist, and it'll
only $14.99 a month.
Yeah, a lot of very real artists who are
or
very
$19.99 if you want ad free.
Yeah, for now, until they start putting ads in the songs. The song is just an ad. It's like product placement in movies now.
Please drink your verification can of Mountain Dew.
But like the record business has always sucked. Let's say that up front, first and foremost. I know, hot take, everyone. And it's pretty much distilled down in to at this point to the big three. The big three. It's Sony, Warner, and Universal, and they control like 70% of like recorded music is all theirs.
The other 30% is from gotcha game companies.
Yeah. So support that very, very moral and upstanding business instead of listening.
Subscribe now to Genshin iTunes, the worst service ever made.
Yeah, just loot boxes where you can you just pull for like a song that you
dumped 100 pulls into this shit, and all I got is that one fucking U2 album.
Oh man, yeah, that's like yeah, that's the shittiest booster pack for sure. But but like they always and they own like I think like 20% of Spotify, or I think it was like 18% right when it launched, so it's probably more now. So yeah, like streaming just totally a new thing, totally like disrupting the bad music industry, and it's and democratizing it for all of us independent artists out there. So fucking way to go, guys. But like the publishers, the big businesses, all these people, they've always been bitching about piracy, right? Like, and it's gone on like for ages. The big one was like when there was when cassettes were introduced, when cassette tapes became a thing. Like I guess they were putting stickers all over everything saying like home recording kills music or whatever.
I think that was a little bit before my time. I think my first childhood experience with piracy was like the Napster / LimeWire era. I feel like being in our 30s, every single person I know has like some really sketchy experience downloading something they shouldn't have had through one of those programs before.
Oh yeah, that was the biggest one. Like, so those cassettes, and they said this is going to kill the industry. It didn't, but then CDs came along, and for a while, you couldn't make CDs, so you had to buy them. They were charging. I mean, I remember when I was like little, I would buy a CD, and they were like $23 fucking for like a fucking like a Coolio album. And that's in like 90s money. Like that's fucking crazy. Like what? Why? Then CD burners came along, and but I don't think that was like as big as making mixtapes. But I'm not really old enough for like cassettes either. I think I like had a boombox that had a cassette like recorder on it.
I definitely had a doohickey in my house that burned CDs for piracy reasons. That was one of my first unpaid menial tech labor tasks as a kid in the 90s. My parents and all their friends wanted me to like burn albums for them to steal.
Oh, you're making bootlegs?
Oh yeah, I made probably like thousands of them when I was like fucking 7 years old.
That's awesome. Yeah, you should have like put them in the back of like an old car and like sold them on the street and just you pack up the whole table and run away when the cops
well, see, this is back in the days when I was in the.
Can't say that on TV.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, shit! I can't say that. Never mind. Maybe we'll cut that out.
Yes. So like I definitely burned CDs with I made like mix CDs to like play in friends' cars, but I don't think that was a big thing. I don't think that was I don't think anybody was concerned about that, even the like record industry at that point. But MP3s were the big thing, especially Napster. And just like the RIAA, the RIA, they shit their pants over Napster. They weren't cool with that. And, like they were going after sites. They definitely went after Napster. That was a big thing. And then they went after like the people who were downloading them, just having like insane lawsuits because somebody downloaded like a Dr. Dre album. So they owed like $40,000 to fucking Universal or something, which is like, nah, man, come on.
That's an insane amount of money.
Yeah, they were bullshit, and I think they were meant to just be like publicity stunts to scare people away from ever downloading anything. I remember like my mom saw this, and she was like, "You better not be downloading music because they like track you." And they're gonna do lawsuits, and I think ISP, they still do in a lot of ways, like track. They kind of like flag suspicious P2P transfers, and
I don't know. I've never gotten this. I've heard from all my American friends that they have to use like a VPN to like download or pirate anything. I've never used a VPN for any of that shit, and it's never caused me problems. So like maybe they're just more lax about it up here in Canada.
I don't know. My mom claims that like when I was much younger, I think in high school, that like she got a letter from the ISP because I like downloaded a movie or something. Yeah, I don't know, but that was a big thing. I'm pretty sure they all settled out of court and it was all bullshit, but like still, like nobody should have to pay to download a few MP3s, like go through some legal battle with these fucking ghouls. Like it's all bullshit. But they were even going after artists, I guess, who like were putting up MP3s on their own sites. So I mean, fuck everybody, right? Like gotta get that money when you're a broke giant major record label.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like an overarching theme of the industry and a lot of things we talk about on this show, but it's a good example of how like the economy these days is really not built around people like making things and selling them. It's just built around like who's the fucking rights holder, who's the middleman that controls the distribution of so and so, and it's all just like fucking ephemeral bullshit. Yeah,
exactly. And like but there were some turncoats there. I think most people didn't really give a shit, but there was the famous one was Metallica's Lars Ulrich.
I was waiting to bring that guy up.
First of all, fuck that dude, and also fuck Metallica. Metallica fucking sucks. I saw him live. They're awful. It was one of the most boring shows I've ever been to, and that was like ages ago. They're probably even more boring now because they're fucking old and their music sucks. All right, I already shit on Sinatra, Metallica. I gotta keep it going.
I don't know if it's a hot take. I feel like, I respect people who want to keep like being creative and making things like well into the later years of their life, but I feel like there are very, very few like old famous like musicians who I'm like, oh, it's still worth it to see this person live. It's like very, very few of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that they're like just wheeling out in like a fucking hospital bed and then they're charging like $450 to see this legendary artist, and it's like, come on, man, this is like, it's just sad.
Shout out to sad. Like David Bowie, who put out the one really good album and then just like shuffled off the stage like a month or two later. That was wild.
Yeah Yeah, you gotta know when to quit. You don't want to be that person, like, and you see it in like sports and all sorts of stuff, who just like refuse to retire, and then they just like do the lamest shit, and they're like a shallow, empty husk of themselves. And it's like, dude, like, you gotta move on. You gotta, like, just go on. But the piracy scene was awesome. There was a lot of really like high profile torrent sites too. My all-time favorite was oink.me.uk. Have you ever heard of this one?
You're pulling my leg right now. That's not a real site, is it?
It was, yes, it was. It was probably the most like prolific music torrenting site ever.
That's wild. I've never heard of that. I remember back in the day I used to use Demonoid for a lot of things. I also there was a point in time where I was on the Mew channel on 4chan, and I got a lot of stuff out of the share threads they did around there. I don't know if they still do those, but
I don't know, but I mean probably not. Everything's lame now. Even 4chan. I mean, I'm not going to say 4chan wasn't always lame, but
it was lame, but it was at least relevant.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're like just like going against they're just ignoring like copyright claims and shit like that. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't still exist. Just like Oink Me UK does not exist anymore because the feds raided them. And in England,
I guess that hog is cooked.
But besides just having like a great catalog of shit, and they had a bunch of rules of like how it had to be like a certain like level of quality, and
you got a license for that oinking. I'm sorry, go on.
Which it seems like very like Discord mod neckbeardy, but like it was really more of a curation of just, you can't just like put a bunch of fucking crap up here, and that's one of the reasons it was so good. But they also had like, it wasn't just like a place to like go fucking steal music. They had all of these like things where it would like tell info about an artist when you like went to their page, and there was like a graph that would like show like related artists and stuff like that, and there were forums that were actually like legit music lovers, and people would like talk about stuff and recommend stuff to each other, and there were a lot of deep cuts on there.
Any of you guys heard this gem before? And it's fucking like in the airplane over the sea.
No, it's not. Well, I don't remember. Maybe it was like that, but
it's always that one person. But yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't Reddit. It wasn't like, hey, r/music. Does anybody else like gorillas? It's like, wow, me. Wow, so relatable.
Me and like every single person on the internet in like 2004.
Yeah, but I mean, I bring up Oink because like it's funny how these like legitimate services which could do all this shit either haven't, or they just like they've done something like it, but it just fucking sucks, and it's just like it's just very like gutless and mainstream, and clearly not like it's definitely not a community. It's all shit. It's all shit, and it's still shit now. But the original shit pusher was the radio. And I don't know, do people still listen to the radio?
From what I know a lot of radio listens just come from like right-wing conservative like morning talk shows. I know that does like crazy big numbers with like older people. I think a lot of it probably moved to like satellite FM or some shit like that. I don't really know. Yeah. I don't keep up with that stuff. I remember in one of the interviews you linked me to for researching the show. I forgot the name, but near the end of it, they mentioned this one website where you can just like tune into like a radio station from anywhere in the world on the internet. I might check that out later. That sounds fun.
Oh yeah. There might be good radio stations somewhere, like somewhere like really remote.
Not to get too deep into it, but I saw this YouTube documentary a while ago about like researchers in Antarctica, and they do have their own little local radio station just for the like 50 people who live there year round or something like that.
Well, I hope the FCC is making sure they don't play any copyrighted music without paying proper royalties to the distributors of that music. Maybe somebody should go down there and audit it. Just a
Yeah,
thought.
they should cool it with the piracy.
Hey, yo, wow.
Got him.
Oh, but like you brought up the right wing shit, and I think part of the reason for that is like, I guess like Ronald Reagan, famous fucking great guy. There were a lot of like rules about about like terrestrial radio where one company couldn't own like too many like stations for the reasons of they didn't want it to just be like propaganda disseminating from one fucking company. But Reagan said fuck all that shit. And what happened after that, Clear Channel is the most famous example, who I think all like Rush Limbaugh and all those pieces of shit were
rest in piss, by the way. Fuck
guys.
that guy.
Yes. I hope it was painful. I hope it was very painful and scary.
As someone who has lost a dear family member to cancer, I hope his hurt a lot.
Yes, same, absolutely. I hope it was really horrible. And Clear Channel, and like big company. They just wanted they wanted people to be listening so that they could serve ads. It's a tale as old as time. And what was their strategy for that? Well, they just wanted to deter like the turn-off rate, which just means like somebody switching to another station. And how do they do that? Well, they just play like the most fucking inoffensive, sterile bullshit, because it's better for the average listener to just listen to like something forgettable and lame than something that like might annoy or bother somebody. So because they might change the channel. I don't even know if that's true, but
I know the phrase turn off rate meant something very different for me when I was younger. So
yes, exactly. And I was very turned off rated by the radio, especially Rush Limbaugh. Once again, rest in piss, buddy. But but like before all of these like radio stations were owned by one fucking company, like radio DJs were actually DJs. They would like select songs and they liked music and they would play stuff that they thought they were good, and they would actually take requests and stuff like that. And it was kind of like it was kind of a thing. But well, they got rid of that by making these like selector programs, and they were just like these early computer programs where you just program a shit ton of music, and whatever in like ads, and it would optimize for ad breaks and all this type of stuff. And a lot of places either got rid of the DJ or they would still have like a fake DJ who would just like announce what the computer was going to play next. And a lot of the like requests weren't even real. They would just like play a clip of somebody calling in on the phone requesting something that they were already going to play. And that was it. That was the fucking radio, baby. And like there's a lot going on with the radio and how it came to suck over time. And one of the big things is the concept of payola. Have you heard about payola before?
It definitely came up in those interviews I watched. I'm kind of familiar, but let's explain it for everybody listening.
Yeah, so payola is a very ubiquitous term here, and
it sounds like a disease, if you ask me.
Yes, it sounds like a disease, and you know what? It is a disease. It is a disease, and it's basically pay for play. You pay somebody on the radio to play a song, because when people hear a song a bunch of times, they might go out and buy it. So it's basically just it's advertising, but it's not like upfront. You don't know it's an ad. It's kind of like product placement, or like all of that shit that YouTubers do illegally, where they're like shilling products. that they were, given. Or
Yeah, by the way, it was
to show.
absolutely life-changing to discover this one like browser extension that just like auto skips the in-video sponsor reads or whatever. I can never go back to living without it.
Yeah. I forget what that's called, but I definitely recommend
I'm sure it's easy to find.
At first I was like, I don't know, fucking like that's probably not going to work. No, it works pretty well. I think it's crowdsourced. Way to go,
the only times
everybody.
it doesn't work is if you like tune into like a smaller channel that uploaded like 5 minutes ago. But I'm constantly surprised by how on top of that some people are.
Yeah, for sure, and I respect the fuck out of those people.
They are doing the Lord's work.
So like payola was around for a long ass time. It's even goes back to the 1800s before they were recording shit. That's when the music industry, they were selling sheet music for somebody to play at a goddamn saloon or some shit. I don't know, but how would they trick people into wanting some sheet music? Well, they would just have like places go and put on a show that featured this music, and they say, hey, this is popular in town. You gotta go out and buy this ragtime Billy. Everybody's hooting and hollering.
It reminds me.
Go buy it up.
It reminds me of how Red Bull, the energy drink, took off. Did I ever tell you this? I feel like it came up once before.
Yeah, wouldn't they?
So basically, the Red Bull was like, it was not made by like energy drink people. It was made by like a marketing advertising company. And to get it off the ground, they went to like all these like high end clubs or whatever, and they just had people like they just put random like empty Red Bull cans on the tables in front of people to make it think like, oh, all the hip cool people in town are already drinking this, so like you should get on it.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought that up because there's going to be some parallels to our boy Ack.
Yeah,
coming up. Coming up, folks. But like the whole payola thing, like when this really took off, like DJs were super. I guess you could say corrupt. Like they were just getting straight up like payouts from labels and promoters and shit like that, and they were. Like some of these DJs were like getting paid, like they were getting a lot of kickbacks, a lot of gifts, a lot of bullshit just to, play the whatever song over and over whenever they were sitting in the booth. And there was a lot of involvement with like the mob and shit like that. And it got real wild until something big happened. And in steps a guy named Elliot Spitzer. Have you heard of this guy before?
No, but as a rule of thumb, I make it a habit to not trust people with names like Spitzer. I feel like they're out to get me.
Oh well. Big shout outs to my home state of New York. He was the attorney general at the time and then became governor. And if you haven't heard of him or if you don't know much about him, long story short, he had to leave because he was buying too many hookers. He was a big hooker guy.
Oh damn! You really gotta cap that off every week.
Yes, exactly.
All things in moderation.
And who doesn't love buying a hooker?
Whomst among us has not partaken?
Yeah, but like Spitzer, come on, you gotta pump the brakes on that. But
one of the girls complained he kept trying to do this move called the Spitzer.
If you look up a picture of this guy, he was into some fucked up shit. Definitely like paying girls to like take a dump on his chest and stuff like that. Allegedly, this is a comedy podcast. I'm not making any actual allegations.
Oh God, yeah, I just looked him up. He looks like an extra from American Psycho.
Yes, absolutely. But he did a big investigation into the whole payola thing, and he uncovered the seedy underbelly of the music industry and the radio stations and all these DJs who were taking all this money, and then he
grabbed the industry by the legs and spread it wide open.
And after that, he sure did, and he paid him good money. But actually, they paid. That's how good he was at hooker busting. They paid the record labels. They paid like some sums of millions of dollars in fines for what they were doing, which was bad for music and the industry. And it was making the it was just, you know, it wasn't truthful, you know. They're making it seem like the DJs wanted to play this and the people wanted to hear this, but really it was the record labels the whole time.
Oh,
these publishers.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so they paid a fine, a big fine,
and then it was all fine.
And yes, and exactly. And then the government said you can't do payola, and then that was the end of payola forever. And that was that, and that's the end of the episode. Thank you for listening, guys. It's been great.
That's great. Thanks, Elliot.
Wow, but actually, there was a loophole because there was independent promoters now, and now the record labels paid these independent promoters, and they paid people. So it's just like, okay, well, fucking, what's the difference other than there being like a middleman, I guess? And besides, you know, still being like the same bullshit that kind of like you know, like the labels could just push whatever they want onto everybody, and you just had to eat up the slop, just like today. They kept the costs of, you know, like this quote unquote promotion high because it would keep other like independent or smaller labels out. So because they couldn't afford to pay these people, so it's just like, well, all right, we'll just play fucking Sony music all the time, the ones you tell us to. So that's you know, that's shit. And like it kind of goes along with the whole idea of like the corporatization of music. Like one big example of this is you remember those parental advisory explicit lyrics stickers?
Yeah, I feel like when I was a kid, I would see that label and be like, oh, wow, this is like some real edgy stuff. But like nowadays, I feel like nobody really blinks an eye at it anymore.
No, I'd be surprised if like all music did. Like at one point, it seemed like every album had that on there. And I think it just became like a selling point more than anything. And the only people kept out of that were like, I don't know, like fucking Mormon parents in flyover states. I distinctly remember this one time where I actually had to get my mom to come with me to this like local CD store. It was like a big CD store, but it was like it wasn't like a national chain or anything. Because they wouldn't sell like a Sublime album or some shit to me because it had the sticker.
That's
on there.
goofy.
Yeah, my mom was pissed, and I was just like, "Well, it's not my." And she was like, "Yeah, well, fuck them. Like, this is fucking stupid." But anyways, I remember standing in line, and there was like a kid who like wanted to buy some CD, and the father was like he made him get the like edited version, and he was like, "No, Dad, I want the regular one." He was like, "No, it insults your intelligence. You can't listen to that nonsense." I was like, yeah, I wonder where that kid is now. I hope he's all right.
That's such a goofy argument as well. Like, oh, he's letting him get the edited one anyway. So it's like, oh, is it really that significant a difference if you don't hear like the word fuck for like half a second? I don't know.
Oh, and it's such bullshit too. Like, so many of these, like the whole track was just like, and it's just like, okay, this is like not even a song at this point. Like, why are you?
I legit thought
this?
Like Discord was breaking up for a second when
exactly. But like, so I guess one of the big things behind this was like Walmart started selling CDs, and like they were selling it for cheaper than other places. So. But they had a rule like you can't sell like things that aren't family friendly. So all these like publishers started making like edited versions of the CDs, or just making artists like edit their songs to be more like Walmart friendly. And that's it. Then, you know, like there was a trend towards that. I'm sure MTV had a lot to do with that as well, and the radio, because you can't say like shit on.
You can't say that on the radio. I'm sorry.
Yeah, or on cable TV that people pay for because that's America. I mean, you could show a dude getting like blown up and blood splattering everywhere, but you can't show a titty or like say like fuck, because that's
gotta get the
like
Great Value brand
to...
version of like the M&M CD or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And like radio used to be like a kind of a semi, you know, local independent thing, and then you know, with Clear Channel, they just took it all over, MTV, all that type of stuff. And you know, like it did that thing. It homogenized everything and kind of made it all like, you know, like the term radio friendly. It's yeah. There's no room for anything that's too interesting, because it's, I don't know, it's harder to sell to the average. To the average person, I guess. Which, again, I don't even think that's true. I think just like these weird execs who like don't even like music or like can understand art or anything like that just think everybody is as dumb as they are. And I'm sure a lot of people have like very middle of the road tastes.
Well, I feel it's very like what people perceive to be like, oh, what offends the average person or whatever. A lot of that is heavily skewed by like a very, very, very small part of the population who are like busybody, like Karen, like fucking Mormon moms or whatever, who have nothing to do all day but make phone calls complaining about things. So
yeah, so, and they're the only ones that these people hear from, so they think this is like the average person.
Yeah, and they attend every fucking PTA and like town hall meeting or whatever, and it's just like, man, it's unbearable.
Yeah, and it really is, and it's fucking annoying. And why do we have to suffer because these people can't just, you know, get a fucking normal hobby?
I mean, just like we talked about this in a recent Bono episode, like just about a month ago, like a fucking small like Mormon Australian like fake feminist organization made like 1,000 phone calls and got like Steam and itch.io to delist like thousands of games for like bullshit reasons. It's ridiculous. Like something, I don't know, something needs to be done. More regular people need to be way more annoying on the phone.
I know, and I can't talk because I'm not gonna like write my congressman complaining about people complaining, but I should. I know.
Well, I'm certainly gonna send some letters, if you know what I mean.
Maybe a package. Oh,
yeah.
But like, I mean, like, there's other shit too. I mean, like there's a rise of like manufactured artists, and the one that comes to mind in the, you know, like the early 2000s or whatever is like boy bands. You know, the famous fucking weirdo Lou Pearlman, who made like he made like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and I think some other ones, and like that was, you know, it's pure marketing. Like obviously it's not fucking.
I might be getting my Swedes mixed up, but wasn't there like this one like notorious like Swedish guy in the music industry who's behind like every popular song for like a few years or something?
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of interesting music stuff comes out of Sweden. There's like a pop song writing duo that has credits on a lot of ostensibly bangers. I'm not gonna lie.
That might be who I'm thinking of, actually.
Whether they were made, yeah, and I'm forgetting these dudes' names. I'm sorry, guys. But like, you know, I don't know. Look it up for yourself. This is the quiz in the show. If you email Breyer at superdespairworld.com, you'll get a prize, which is an email back. You
joke about this as if I haven't already set up that email to just forward every message back to yours.
Oh, God damn it. That's right. Never mind. Don't do that. But like, I mean, that was going on for for a while. Like the Monkees were basically just like the marketing person's answer to the Beatles. They were just like, oh, people really like the Beatles. How do we like make money off of this? All right, we'll just make our own Beatles. And you know what? They sold a lot of records.
The only thing I ever knew about the Monkees is that brief Simpsons bit where a young Marge Simpson gets made fun of for liking the Monkees.
Yes, and she deserved it too. God damn it, stupid Marge.
True. Homie.
Homer, I like the Monkees.
I think she was supposed to be like 6 years old in that bit, but whatever.
Marge, the Monkees fucking suck.
Ay, caramba.
Shut up, Marge.
In conclusion, the Monkees is a band of contrasts.
Yeah, and then you see it now with like the fake fucking quote unquote like viral TikTok stars, which are really like industry plants. It's all bullshit. It's all people who are not artists or musicians. They're just fucking advertisers and marketers who are trying to make money off of the music industry. And who does it target? Usually fucking kids. That's the whole
joke behind like the whole "how do you do, fellow kids" guy wearing like the music band shirt or whatever.
Yes, exactly. I also like popular trending TikTok star. I can't even think of one. Like whatever. Fuck these people. But they're just selling us shit. They're just selling us shit. But anyways, then the world was turned upside down by this amazing disruptive tech company called Spotify. And it was from Sweden. Big shout outs to Sweden as usual.
For better or worse, this is our big Sweden episode.
We'll do a proper one when I'm on location in Sweden someday. Once the Patreon gets.
I do know we have at least one confirmed Swedish listener who's a friend of mine. So shout out, you know who you are.
Yeah, I actually have an IRL Swedish friend. Well, she's like ethnically Swedish, but very, very Swedish American, very Swedish American.
What an odd thing to say.
He listens to the show. Okay, but Sweden was ripe for the rise of Spotify. 'Cause there's a big piracy scene going on there. In fact, the beta version of Spotify had like a massively pirated music catalog. So that it started from piracy. So fucking rock on. They were cool and anti-establishment when it was cool, and now look at them. So
I forget, was it in Sweden or I want to say maybe it was Norway. There was like some country in Europe that had like an actual fucking like piracy party, like in Parliament or whatever.
There was in Sweden, but I think the one. I don't know if it was like a proper like political party in Sweden, but I know Iceland had that.
Iceland, right?
I'm pretty sure, unless I'm getting my Nordic countries mixed up, and if so, I'm very sorry.
There's probably a few countries out there that have a piracy party. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, and you know what? More countries should have that. I think I'll make one here.
I don't know if this is even a hot take, but like for people who want to like get into the nitty gritty about it, I straight up think piracy is like completely justified, like in any situation. I don't care if it's like a small indie artist or whatever. I feel like if you don't want to pay for something, then fine, just like, I don't know, help yourself. I feel like the harm done like is outweighed by like, I don't know, people just having access to culture and like art in general. I don't think it's a big fucking deal.
I mean, there is a lot of there's a lot of debate on this, but there are some studies that do say that like piracy in a lot of ways will lead to like somebody actually buying something down the road.
I mean, if you like it and you want to support somebody, then go for it. I don't know. I'm just speaking as somebody who is something of a pretentious indie author myself on the internet, and like basically all the other people I know who like make stuff and put it out for like a very small audience online are like, yeah, fuck it, buddy. If you wanna pirate my thing, go ahead. I'm just glad you're like listening to it at all or whatever. So like I don't know, I feel like that's the popular opinion about among like at least the cool creative people these days.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that we'll get into in a bit. But like, one of the biggest like criticisms of Spotify is like how much they pay and the whole thing like that. And it's like, dude, like artists generally, especially on bigger labels, were getting paid fucking dog shit for royalties unless you're like Prince or like Michael Jackson or something. So like that's, I mean, yeah, you should get paid somehow.
From what I know,
some way.
Even as a kid, I understood that like a lot of like popular musicians and bands or whatever made so much more money just doing like one live show and like selling a bunch of T-shirts there than like from actual album sales, which is a bit sad.
Well, like a lot of artists, even bigger artists now, they don't like streaming because, and it's not even really because of the money. It's just because like they want people to, you know, kind of like get their thing, presumably buy it, like buy a record, buy an album, and then like, you know, sit down and like enjoy it, and not just like it's just part of some like ethereal fucking group of like just Spotify's fucking hard drive somewhere, and like they might hear it on like chill vibes to relax to volume 90.
Yeah, it's like people want their listeners to like experience the art they made, and not just as like a brief 2-minute segment of like a fucking like slurry of like a playlist generated by a machine or whatever. Right.
In the argument on ownership, definitely but there are some artists like fucking Metallica who they try to say it's like an ownership thing and like whatever, but really they just want more money because they're fucking scumbags. Fuck Metallica.
Yeah, for real.
But like, okay, so the Daniel Ek, he was the guy. He's the guy, Daniel Ek, and Daniel Ek, famously a huge lover of music, a musician himself, a guy, tons of albums, really big into music.
He made electronic music. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he made. He made every genre of music. He's a virtuoso musician, great guy, and just like I can't say enough. And so because of his passion for music, he decided to make Spotify, where he could make music more accessible for everyone. Just kidding. Daniel Ek is he got his start in the tech world. With a business called Advertigo.
Well, there's your problem, by the way.
and what kind of business do you think this was, Briar?
I don't know. Probably some like subscription-based bullshit that steals your info or whatever.
Close. It's banner ad targeting.
Oh God! All right.
He's a web ad guy. He's
the original sin.
The original, probably fucking annoying pop-up ads that like stole your grandma's credit card, and then there was a virus. Your grandma says there's a virus on her computer, and pornography keeps popping up because she clicked a banner ad that said she won a free iPad or a free iPod, probably at that point. I don't even know if they were iPads, but. Yeah, so that's it. He's a fucking marketing guy, and so he started this business with some dude named Martin Lorentzen, another fucking tech, also in the ad world, And these dudes, like, they, as all weird tech guys do, they have this like this tale that they spin, their origin story, where like they stayed in a cabin for like a while and they dreamed up this business. It gave them meaning after their wealth gave them no, just bullshit, you know, just bullshit.
They lit us
Kind
some
of
ayahuasca and
yeah.
felt like human emotions for like 2 seconds, and it made them like shit their pants or whatever.
Maybe. I think there are mushrooms that grow wild in Sweden. The Vikings used to eat them to go berserk and win battles against the evil Englishmen, which I think is cool. I think should bring those.
I mean, I love me some dead Englishmen, so I'll ask my friend about that.
True. I agree. But they ate mushrooms and made a shitty streaming platform. And Eck is like a classic tech weirdo. He's a classic tech weirdo. A fun fact about him: he's obsessed with longevity, and he fears death. He wants to live to be 120 years old.
I mean, low key, being a bit redundant here, all of these guys fear death more than anything else. But yeah.
Yes, exactly. Probably part of the obsession with legacy. It's the desire to live on forever, which nobody does.
I think a lot of it comes down to like knowing deep down that like their own mortality is the one thing that they cannot like buy their way out of.
Exactly. So, yeah, just anything to stave that off. I'm sure these dudes will be the first to like do some sort of like Neuralink, like upload my brain to a computer thing, which I'm going to assume is going to be like some dystopian sci-fi novel-esque thing where it's just like they're trapped in like a mental prison for eternity, floating through space.
I've seen this one thing. It was like a video from one of these like sketchy like Turkish like Dahir InShot type fucking patent companies. It was a video where they were like showing off like a mock-up of this surgery where they would do like a full body transplant where they like cut some guy's head off and transplant like an old man's head onto like a young man's body. And like I just know this is going to claim at least a couple of those billionaire fucks. So absolutely, and it'll be so poetic when it happens. The other thing I was going to say was I know there are like programs or scripts or whatever that people can set up on websites so that like AI fucking crawler programs that go to visit them will like interact with the script and then get stuck in like a fucking perpetual never-ending labyrinth of their own creation that they just like get stuck in and can't do anything afterwards. And I think it'd be really funny to see like the first person who gets their brain uploaded like stuck in that kind of like purgatory forever. I think that'd be sick. I would run that on my hard drive.
it really reads like a sci-fi short story that would have been written in like 1965, but we're about to start living that. And always in those stories it's like it takes place in like 1994, which we never saw that shit. They really thought technology was going to move a little bit faster than it did. But
gonna upload one of these tech guys onto my MacBook and call that I Have No Apes and I Must Scream.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just make them do like all sorts of tasks before you.
I can think of some tasks.
But I mean, anyways, with Daniel Eck, he just wanted to build like something that was like that they could do they could push advertising, and streaming was a thing that was coming up at the time. So it's like, oh, how can we? So it was advertising first, basically, is what I'm saying. It wasn't like the idea wasn't about music. In fact, I think they considered like movies or like video first, but then they were like, oh well, music, you don't have to do the video. It's easier.
Yeah,
to
video is like
audio.
significantly like larger file sizes or whatever. So
Yeah, exactly. So they started it, and it was a thing, and like. Of course, as we know, everything gets enshittified on the internet. But at first, I guess I wasn't like an early adopter of Spotify. I was still in Korea at the time, and it wasn't available there. But I supposedly it was good for independent music, and the discovery thing was good at first. But we were already seeing the major labels creeping in there, and they were negotiating their contracts, which of course were better than independent artists. And
and then the thing about enshittification, right, is like people hear the word and they think like, oh, a good thing got worse over time for no reason. But really, like, a lot of these services or like programs or whatever are like, they are shit from the beginning. It's just that the company can afford for a brief time to like run it at a loss or whatever. So people are like, oh, we're hooked on this now. It's like good and awesome, but like that's never sustainable. Like the enshittification isn't like a thing that just happens. It is like, it is pre-baked. It is inevitable. It's like the only destiny, fate, or whatever bullshit of all these programs. So
exactly, and that's why I brought up really want to push home the thing is like they weren't trying to do something cool and then it like went off the rails because of it got too big and corporate. This was always the plan, and this happens with all of these platforms for a few reasons. Number one is they get a shit ton of VC money, so they're just sitting on free money.
It's like a blank check, basically.
Basically, and this was like the golden age of VC investing. Just tech, music on the internet.
I remember when I could get McDonald's delivered to my door for like $12.
Exactly. So then they do the blitzscaling thing, which is so they make it's cheap, it's everywhere, they shove it up your ass, they shove it down your throat.
It's insane. Not to focus too much on the meal delivery apps, but I remember like I was in college like right around the time those just took off for the first time, and I could file the most like lukewarm complaint. I could be like, I got McDonald's and my fries were a bit cold, and they'd be like, here's $20 fucking, go order another meal.
Oh, absolutely. I was just bitching about Amazon the other day, which I think I'm done with Amazon for good, by the way. They finally pissed me off for the last time. But not to digress too much, but like, yeah, you just like, I would be excited if something like didn't show up or it was coming late, because then I was just like, cool, now I can go on customer service and I'd just be like, hey, this is late, I really need it. And they'd be like, oh, here's a refund and $20. Did we solve your problem? And I was like, yes, you did.
See, that's never going to happen, though, because I say, as somebody who lives in a rural area, what they do is they just give me an estimate that's always like way longer than it actually takes. I noticed for the last couple of years living here, I'm like, why is it that every time I order something on Amazon, it's always like 4 or 5 days early? And now I figured it out. It's so that they can never technically be late, because they say, oh, we'll get this to you in like a month or something, when it takes like 3 days.
That's interesting. I live in civilization. A lot of times they'll say it's like comes tomorrow, and then they're just like, and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
The only times I've ever had something actually be late or go missing on Amazon are when my mom asks me for help to order some like fucking snake oil that'll help her live forever or whatever from China or some shit.
Oh,
so
the mailman must have stolen it. Oops.
I guess he wants the secrets of immortality all for himself.
Yeah. So they do the blitzscaling thing, and then they're broke and they need to make all the money back. So they put all, and I think a lot of times they don't even know really like the whole roadmap in shitify. They just kind of figure it out as they go. It seems to me, from just like from Liz Pelly's book and some other articles that I've read, that they kind of like didn't seem to like really know what they were doing at first. It was kind of just like, yeah, music, streaming, okay, how do we put ads into this? And then like obviously as time goes on, they just figure out more ways to make it shittier. But
I mean,
yeah,
some enshittification is like baked in from the beginning, but like, you know, it just happens like naturally or whatever. But like other times they have to hire like people to come up with new novel ways to enshittify things even further. They've got top men working on it.
Exactly. And even if even if they did everything how it should be, like, or how they think it should be from the get-go, like, well, after a while it's just like, well, we need to make more profits, we need more things, so they lay people off, they make it crappier, and
not just more profits, but like more profits than last time. It always has to go up. We can't
forever.
We can't just make a sustainable amount of money and just like pay all our bills or whatever. It's bullshit.
No, we gotta fuck it up for everyone. And yeah, I'd like to say that it all collapses eventually, but well, I think we're still going to see for a lot of the giants out there.
A lot of this stuff is not sustainable, but unfortunately it is sustainable for a long time before it becomes unsustainable.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So like, so they pivoted over time to kind of like make it, instead of just like a cloud library of music, to just kind of like be more targeted towards like disengaged users, like people just kind of like who want to like hit play and then the music that they like plays. So of course the major labels and other nefarious actors, they're companies that make playlists and they're buying them up. They're trying to game the SEO, whatever. The whole idea of like lean back listening comes up here, where it's just like, oh, I just hit play and then I let chill vibes to chill to whisk me away into a fugue state where I just don't have to think of anything.
I know it's like a kids movie, and maybe they weren't thinking that hard about it when they made it, but I think back to all the fat people on the spaceship and Wall-E, and I'm like, man, that says a lot about society.
Absolutely. It is. A lot of people bring up Idiocracy, which I think is like way too on the nose, but I think Wall-E did a better job of just, I mean, it wasn't like,
yeah, Idiocracy has a lot of like weird eugenics stuff that has not aged well in it, but like, yeah,
I'm a huge Mike Judge enjoyer, but that's not my
I do think often favorite. About the one guy in Idiocracy who's just like, go away, I'm jerking it or whatever.
Yeah, see, now that's a future I can get behind. Just kidding, folks.
Get away, I'm on Spotify. I'm laying back and listening.
I'm laying back listening to beats to jack off to Wednesday playlists.
It's got a very questionable anime girl just on loop.
So, of course, like with every shitty tech company, there's a huge aspect where it's just like data. It's data. They're collecting data to train their fucking algorithm on and tell you what you like when you're lean back listening. Somehow, when you're lean back listening and not touching the app at all, and it just plays random shit for you, that's giving them data on what you want to listen to. I guess if you hit skip, it's just like, well, fucking, that's a huge metric that we have to take into account.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I've known about the internet for a while, because like there have been one or two episodes of this show where we got some, let's say, like heated attention from people that we upset or whatever, and it's like, if you guys really want to like hurt the show, then just like don't interact with it at all. Even like mean comments and downvotes or whatever technically tell the algorithm like, oh hey, this is engagement, like this is better than not interacting at all. So
it's truly a microcosm of the whole like outrage economy, which is why all these places like Facebook and whatever they have selected for this kind of behavior and this kind of like culture there, where everybody's just mad and yelling at each other, and people are posting like trolling and outrage bait bullshit all the time.
Because it's valuable data. We need more data for the machine.
Yeah, we need data driven fucking bullshit. But along with the data driven bullshit, which we're gonna get back to, folks, don't you worry. Their big thing, which goes along with that, is they're trying to sell they're selling moods to people. Everything's based on moods and vibes, and it's not just like, oh, you're looking for chill vibes, or you're in a melancholy.
Are you feeling like a sad boy this morning? Oh, we got sad boy vibes.
Sad boy vibes to cry to. There's also like that's where a lot of the chill vibe stuff comes from. Is they're trying to say that if you listen to this, you'll be chilled. Your vibes will chill. And so this is the big thing. This is where the playlist really came to shine. It's not just reflection of what you want. It's shaping you into a chill vibe enjoyer, I guess.
Yeah, and it's fucked up because like real human beings like you or me will hear the word chill and think like, oh, the emotion chill, like, oh, just like chilling out, having a good time, taking it easy or whatever. But like to these like corpo machines or whatever, the word chill is more like, oh yeah, the consumer has entered a state of passive consumption or whatever. Like that's what they really mean by chill.
Yes. You're a docile slaughterhouse animal that's being led down the assembly line.
The cow has stopped struggling against its restraints. It's chill now.
Oh, wake up, sheeple! Stop chilling and stop vibing. You need to listen to the revolutionary, anti-authoritarian vibes to punch Swedish people too, but not all Swedish people, just one in particular, maybe a couple of them.
I think there's at least 2 or 3 in this episode, but we'll keep it there.
We'll keep it there, 2 or 3 max, not all of them. But have you heard of the? I think a lot of people have. Have you heard of the term Muzak before? Muzak.
I actually haven't. So tell me what Muzak is. Sounds a bit like a disease.
Yeah, a lot of diseases here. So like this is a term that's kind of been used like pejoratively, especially in like music spheres among artists. It's usually used to describe what a lot of people would call like elevator music.
Oh, okay.
Which is usually like obviously it's like, you know, just the
soundtrack to The Sims, basically.
Sure, yeah, just inoffensive background music. It's not meant to like really do anything.
It probably counts as Muzak, but I think my favorite song in this genre is like the Wii Channel shop music. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
that one's a banger.
I have to get into this. There is a conflation with Muzak and like, you know, things that resemble like bossa nova. The difference is bossa nova is actually good and was actually made by good artists, even though it is kind of like relaxed and easy listening. Muzak specifically is talking about like. Well, let me rewind to the actual origins of the term.
Okay.
So Muzak was actually a company that was made in 1934, and the company, the goal or the point of the company was to sell mood music, which was supposed to be sold to like like department stores and places like that, and elevators. I guess elevators were new then.
Oh, that's nice. I wonder what the mood was like back then in the 1930s.
It was chill vibes to do ethnic cleansing too, probably.
Christ, yeah.
But so the issue with this company was that they didn't have any rights to any music. So, how were they going to sell, easy listening background music to places when they didn't own any rights? So they decided instead of like buying the rights to pre-existing stuff, well, they would just make a recording studio and just pump out a bunch of like just disposable background music in-house. With like session musicians and whatever. So that's what Muzak. That's what Muzak is. It's just like company made disposable soulless background music. It's not really art.
Yeah, so it's
kind of the equivalent of like when you go to like a cheap hotel room and there's just like a piece of art on the wall.
Yeah, like a fucking sailboat or like a vase or something.
Yeah, and it's definitely made by who was that dude? That really weird dude who would make these like just kind of like consumable like art pieces for like weird suburbanites. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I might know who you're talking about. I'm trying to look it up. It was not Rockwell. No, that was
No. Yeah, I think he was kind of like inspired by Rockwell. But,
was it Thomas Kincaid? I think it's Kincaid.
Yes, that's the guy.
That's fucking
the guy. Thomas Kincaid.
I know of Thomas Kincaid because I see a lot of Nazis on Twitter post his paintings and be like, "This is what they took from us. We need to return to this world where we had sunshine and sailboats."
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, so it was kind of like that, except like not even made by like a person who called themselves an artist. It was just purely made like as like corpo.
Yeah, so I guess if I pick up what you're putting down, it's not so much about like the actual sound of the music itself, anything that we'd like identify the genre with. It's like the intention is that this is made to be like disposable and consumed passively.
Right, and it's kind of like you could think of it as like the intermediary between like you could think of it as like the stock art of music.
Oh,
like it's just meant to be like the background of like a shitty like corporate HR or like a Instagram advertisement, like a lot of that ukulele bullshit.
Yeah, it's like online nowadays. It's very popular to be against AI art, and don't get me wrong, fuck AI art. I think it's like complete dog shit. But the thing is, like where I lose a lot of people is I go further and I'm like, well, there's a lot of art that is made by people that I think I hate it for all the exact same reasons I would hate something made by AI or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's that whole Muzak thing. It's the whole like, oh, this is made to be thrown away and not cared about. I feel like, I don't know, at least to me, I think the fucking intention matters. It feels like there needs to be something human to dig into there.
Well, it's like AI art or AI music. It lacks intention because it's made by a robot. There is no intention there.
Yeah, and in the case that somebody's like, no, I feel something here. This moves me emotionally. It's just because like, well, it copied something that did have intention behind it and sounds similar. But like, it's not the same thing. There's an important difference.
Yes, exactly. So Spotify kind of like encouraged Muzak on its platform, and just kind of with the whole playlistification of everything, it kind of just homogenized all this music into just kind of like a chill beats to chill to vibes playlist and stuff like that. It was kind of like it was kind of this whole trend of shifting the value away from the artists themselves to like the platform. It's really like Spotify is just the artist gets lost there, the music gets lost, and it's kind of just I'm listening to music on Spotify. It's not like I'm listening.
Yeah, they're selling Spotify as like a dopamine machine that makes you feel good when you turn it on or whatever.
Right, and they don't give a shit about the artist. Obviously, like they never did. Again,
all that matters is like whatever bit of audio will get the neuron to fire in the monkey's skull or whatever.
Right. In the least amount of effort you can possibly do to get the minimum amount of neuronal firing going on here. And obviously there was a second, besides low effort, there's a second benefit where like you don't need, they're not going to pay big royalty or like standard royalties, not that any of them are significant, to this music, to these artists. You just buy up a shit ton since people are just listening to this crap in the background, these just garbage playlists with a bunch of bullshit on it. You just buy up a ton of like low budget stock tracks, hire a bunch of session musicians, or some company does that. I don't think it's in-house in Spotify, and then you just buy a whole catalog of shit. So Spotify even made their own name for Muzak, and they called it perfect fit content, which is just such like a fucking HR like.
Yeah, man, I hate that shit.
Term. And it's just like cheap mood music for playlists bought on commission.
It's like the audio equivalent of fucking like Adobe stock photo packages or whatever.
Right. In Liz Pelly's book, like she interviews a bunch of these people who were just like session musicians who were hired to do this, and obviously no hate to any of these people, like they're fucking musicians who are trying to like make money and not have to work at Starbucks.
Yeah, I did say I hate this stuff for the same reason that I hate AI art, but I do think it is like at least marginally better that like, okay, at least a musician is getting paid even if they're not making anything I'm remotely interested in, you know.
Right. In some of these people said they like made, you know, a decent way, like enough so that they don't have to like get a non-music job, where like if I'm a like really skilled piano player, guitarist, or drummer or something that, you know, spent all this time practicing and shit and you went to music school or something, I'd rather be a session musician for fucking PFC Muzak garbage than like, I don't know, like fucking flip burgers or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that because like I'm very stubborn, but I know a lot of visual artists or whatever or illustrators on the internet who got their start doing fucking like generic graphics for like shitty mobile phone games that nobody will ever play.
And I mean it sucks. And the people that she interviewed, like they were like, it sucks, but like but like at least you're like honing your skill, at least you're keeping sharp instead of like having to spend 8 of your hours every day doing something completely irrelevant, unrelated.
You were at least doing something you could put on a portfolio to get like a better job doing what you want later.
Well, here's the thing.
Did I activate a trap card? Fuck.
You activated a trap card. So the thing is, these people weren't really credited with the, like not directly at least. So there were probably Pelly estimates that there were 20 songwriters, for example, but then they're doing all of this music is they're ghost artists. So it's a bunch of people pretending to be a bunch of different artists. So 20 songwriters will be 500 artists who make thousands of tracks among them, who all get millions of streams.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So
it's like sock puppeting. It's like the fucking old internet form. It's musical sock puppeting. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. It's giving the illusion that there's all these artists and shit like that, but really it's just like a stock music mill. which is bad, but then they're like lying about it, like just like trying to make it seem like there's this like vast catalog of artists you've never heard of.
Yeah, it's like the fact that
completely and utterly manufactured.
The fact that they have to lie about it tells you, like, okay, they know they're doing something fucked up and shitty here, so...
Right. And they're purposely, like, obfuscating who actually made this, so it's disenfranchising the people with the actual musical skill here, of course. For what? So Spotify can keep you on their fucking app, so they can harvest your data and sell you ads, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, the whole move, like moving everything towards playlists, so it's like, you can just listen to what you want and just a nonstop stream. You can just like consume this passively. You can lay back, you can chill, just have some, like 5 hours of chill beats to study to or whatever. And like we did the episode on the whole like lo-fi music chill beats or whatever. I like a lot of that stuff, but I do at times feel like, well, it's weird that there's a whole big stream of this stuff that has like all these dozens of artists I've never heard of before outside of like lo-fi chill beats playlists or whatever. And now I'm like, oh God, what if all the different artists are like two guys or whatever? Now I don't know what to think. So
that is the thing. And it's like, okay, like a lot of that is the problem with like these, lo-fi beats to chill to stuff is like, it really blurs the line, because like I actually have listened to the lo-fi girl stream before, like
whom among us has not, right?
Yeah, right. And like the thing is, I mean, obviously like it's fine, like lo-fi hip hop, I guess in its infancy was like a more of like a niche community, and then it kind of got co-opted by these like famous YouTube streaming playlist things, and then it kind of like it's a feedback loop that feeds into itself, and then there's a lot of people who are like, oh, this is like a popular thing that a zillion people listen to, so I'll kind of just like make this style. Which is so like over time it starts to just kind of like even out and just turn into like an aesthetic instead of like individual artists making something that is in the style and unique. Cause like I've actually like purchased like hip hop, like beats, albums. I get like lo-fi stuff, and because I thought it was like interesting, but like I couldn't tell you 99.5% of any of the artists that like come up on here, and I couldn't even like tell you what that song sounded like once it
sure
ended.
I can think of off the top of my head like maybe like one or two actual artist names that do lo-fi beats or whatever, so
yeah and that's the thing, and there's a lot who like actually do, they kind of like do it, like at least they're doing their thing and it's genuine, but like I'm sure a vast majority of the stuff that just gets put on rotation there is just like generic, just kind of like sounds like it belongs on the chill hop playlist.
Yeah, and when it's all like ground together in like a playlist where it's like, oh, you're mixing the real authentic stuff with like the cheap knockoffs, it's like it kind of devalues everything, right?
Right.
There's a good example of this. There's currently a bit of a discourse, a little thing going on in the tabletop games community I'm in, where people are really upset about the term Ghibli-esque, saying like visuals and aesthetics. They're like Studio Ghibli movies out of Japan or whatever. And like I like a lot of those movies, but like when people look at that aesthetic, they see like, oh, it's like soft pastel colors and like nice like pastoral scenes in the countryside or whatever. And like a lot of people like rip off that style and they do it like very shallowly, where they kind of miss the point that like the reason a lot of those movies look like that is because those Japanese animators like lived through the horrors of World War II, and that art style is like, yeah, they're kind of lamenting that that world, that like pastel, colorful, peaceful world is like now out of reach or whatever. So like that's the difference between the real fucking thing and the shitty knockoffs. They're like, oh look, a happy green little hill and a forest or whatever. Like, shut up, dude.
Exactly. And then like when you're just pumping out like cheap imitations, it devalues, like you said, the original thing.
Yeah, there was some like shit ass like Studio Ghibli-esque D&D setting that made like $3 million or something lately. It's so ass. I think the guy behind it is like some like former Air Force guy who like killed kids in Afghanistan or some shit that went on to do like fintech bullshit, and it's like, oh, whatever. Of course.
Okay.
It hits all the marks on the bingo board. Oh man. Anyway, I'm not going to derail further.
well, I mean, so we talk about the ghost art, the ghost tracks and stuff like that. Like, what is the obvious conclusion of all of this shit? Where are we going there instead of like just buying up like shitty stock music? Well, we can't. We don't even need to do that now.
We can just make
because we can just generate it with AI bullshit. But before I get to that, I wanna harp for a second on the whole data driven idea. That this is like a buzzword that all these fucking tech ghoul corpo weirdos always throw around.
Our company is tech driven, unlike all those other guys who are just like winging it off of vibes.
It's data driven, guys. It's data driven. Like data is a god to them. It's like the fucking meme of like the I fucking love science, like soy.
The world is just rotting from the inside out thanks to a bunch of fucking like Poindexters going, I need more data to formulate my conclusion.
Right, and it's like obviously like fundamentally science and data and stuff are cool and useful.
Yeah, they're epic.
But like, I freaking love data.
I fucking love data.
But you know, in the hands of these fucking morons who worship it like it's a god, and use it, of course, to push their own nonsense. It just makes everything worse. So the whole data-driven aspect is like, it's posited as helping the artists, because it's just like, hey, artist, you can look at who the data on who clicks on which song got the most plays for the most time. But really, they're not doing this to help you. They're trying to optimize what you do for this, like, to be optimal content for their platform. It's the same with all this shit. Like, why do you think like YouTube or Instagram or whatever offers these like creator tools which show you all these metrics? It's not because they want to empower you with or they just think you're curious. No, it's just so they can say, hey, that last video you made that was interesting and required a modicum of thought, people didn't like that and they clicked away. But you know what was really popping off and going viral? This zero effort shitty fucking reaction video that you did. So do more of those. Stop trying to make anything of like value or art.
Yeah, it's not for your benefit. It's for the platform's benefit, so they can keep more people in their fucking like Skinner box forever.
Right. And like the obsession over metrics in art, creation and art and stuff in general is fucking ass. And this is not new to Spotify. I mean, when the Billboard charts became a thing, it ruined the industry in the same way. It was just like just checking Billboard charts and sales numbers and all of these fucking metrics to say like what is worth. And there were like there's like labels who are just like, if you don't sell a zillion copies on the first day, it's a flop. All right, let's cut them from the label. Fuck this person. whatever. It's always very short-sighted, very give me results, give me money now. Or what do we have to do? All right, we have to pivot to something else, or like, oh, this sold really well, so like you're thinking of doing something like creative and a little bit different. No, we're not.
No, that contradicts the data.
Exactly. At this point, like playlist editors, where Spotify actually used to like hire people to, you know, like make playlists and stuff like that, and it was kind of like I mean, it's still bullshit, but at least it was a little bit more, you know, curated, you know, artistically. They just turned into like algorithm creators, basically.
I'm pretty sure this happened with Bandcamp as well. You ever been on Bandcamp? I know they got bought out by Epic, the company behind Epic Games or whatever, and they like completely gutted the staff, and like the first people fired were the people who like curated the front page of like cool stuff to check out or whatever. So
yeah. And it's kind of the same thing. Another big thing that that everybody just like decides to do unpaid advertising for every year is the old Spotify Wrapped season. Whenever your Spotify Wrapped comes out, for the very brief time that I use Spotify, when it gave me my Spotify Wrapped, it was complete bullshit. I don't know where it got any of this fucking data from. But it was not like representative.
Were you using Spotify a lot? Or could it have been like, oh, it got the results wrong because it just didn't have a lot of data to work off of? Or
I was using it enough, I think. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe something was like, maybe I like left it on repeat or something, or just let it go off and do its own thing at some point. I don't really know, but that's kind of the thing, right? Is just like, if you just like a lot of people, if you're just like, you listen to a song or something, and then Spotify goes off and does its own thing, based on whatever data it thinks represents you, like, then is it really like it's kind of like it's feeding into itself like bullshit?
Yeah,
right?
It's like people have done experiments about this where they're like, let's make a brand new YouTube account and just leave autoplay on long enough and see how long it takes to recommend like white supremacy podcasts or whatever.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, it's not that long,
folks.
But like the whole thing about Wrapped is like it focused on like personalization and like individualism and stuff like that. Like, this is you and your music and stuff like
People
that.
love that like, shit, by the way. It's why, like, when I was a kid, and to this day, you go on Facebook and everybody's doing those stupid fucking quizzes like, oh, which one of the Beatles am I? Oh, which flavor of Pop-Tarts am I? You know, like, who gives a shit, dude?
Exactly. And it's like bad for like music in general, because when it's more of a community thing, I mean, it kind of creates a community of like artists and listeners and stuff like that.
There's a vital human element to it,
which is good, but it's good for like regular and like independent artists and like, but but they don't really give a shit. They just want you to listen to Beyonce and Drake and whatever, like 6 artists that they shove down your throat at the expense of all the others. And this is an issue that I have with like big, you know, like companies that you know, like handle creators or creatives and shit like that.
Like talent agencies or like creative like agent.
Yeah, or like record labels, or you know, like, or even these platforms and shit. Is they'll like,
if you want a real hellscape, go to the fucking like VTuber or like K-pop agencies or whatever. That's
a great example. Or like the one I was gonna bring up is like Twitch, for example.
Oh yeah, Twitch counts.
Twitch will shove the same 5 whales down your throat, and that's their entire marketing strategy, is to take their like 10 to 20 top earners and just force them upon everyone. They put all their eggs in that basket because they're like dumb and they see big number and they just want big number to get bigger, which is like, it's like it number one, it's stupid because like you're reaching a point of saturation where like you're not really getting that much growth there.
I remember there was a while
also-
ago where I was trying to look up a YouTube video about like some recent current events thing or whatever in the news, and like the top 3 results were all different fucking like Hassan clip channels or whatever. I was like, I was ready to burst a blood vessel.
but here's the thing too, is they put all their eggs in one basket, and then Hassan will go on and say some racist shit or something like extremely problematic, and then they're in this situation where it's like, well, this is like against terms of service, but like we can't ban him.
Twitch is like so fucking nakedly corrupt about it. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're so fucking cucked. They're dumb bitches. Whereas if you spent all that energy promoting like up and coming, kind of like middle of the road people, you could have like a more stable foundation. That's what they call like a long tail in the music industry, at least. I don't know if that extends to anything else, but it's just like, it's the idea that like you can kind of have like a very large stable of like moderate earners, but they have like a solid foundation, solid fan base, and over time, that will be more stable income and stuff like that.
I mean that's what the video game industry used to be like back when I was a kid, right? Mm-hmm. Like they used to put out like a bunch of small budget, mid budget sort of games from like new teams of developers trying new things, and some would do well and some wouldn't, and they'd make like a fair amount of profit. But nowadays it's like, no, we need to pour like hundreds of millions of dollars into the new fucking Assassin's Creed or whatever, and it has to do 30% better than the last one, which is exactly the same fucking game or whatever. And it's like, man,
and people are getting burnt out on it.
Yeah,
but the thing is, a lot of them don't know any better, and this is why I shit on artists like Beyonce, and people are like, oh, you're a hater because you hate things that are popular, and like let people enjoy things. It's like, if you truly love Beyonce, which I don't think a lot of people actually do, they just like think it's it's like hot right now. That's fine, whatever. I don't really give a shit. My issue is when the entire industry shoves all this shit down the average person's throat and doesn't give them a chance to like find anything else. They're just like, no, this is what music is right now. It's these 5 artists. Listen to them nonstop, and then we'll take the money from that. And it's like, it's not great. And I'm not saying it's like the responsibility of the industry to like promote like discovery of new, not because I wouldn't want them to do that, because they fundamentally don't really give a shit about anything other than
it's not like they have some guy on staff who has really good taste that they just keep locked up in a cage or whatever. So
yeah, and like, because that's the thing, I don't really fundamentally give a shit if Beyonce is successful or not. I give a shit when somebody who I think is a very mediocre musician gets all the lion's share of all of the attention and the money and promotion and everything, and then there's a million other people who are as good, if not better, or just doing something different, and there's a whole fucking world of this shit out there, but you don't hear about them because they're too busy just pushing fucking Drake and Beyonce down your throat. And that sucks, man. That sucks. We need more goddamn diversity in our lives. We don't need to like distill everything down to like just a fucking optimized version of everything. And that's one of my main issues with Spotify. And it's but now like there's going to be a huge catalog of shit for everybody to sit back and chill to, because Spotify has now embraced AI bullshit now. a fun fact is that there was some company called Boomy that made just like bullshit like generative AI.
That feels like a
music.
fake company name that we would make up for a bit. By the way,
Exactly.
I'm listening to this new band on Boomy.
These are the fucking people we have to deal with. These are the people running the goddamn creative industry. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, so, but the funny thing is, AI or Spotify originally banned Boomy from the platform, but it wasn't because they were making AI slop. It's because they were using. It's because a lot of their tracks were being listened to by bots, I guess, which is like I don't know if the company did that or if it's just like or if the clankers attracted other clankers like flies to shit. I don't really know how that. I don't really know how that works, but
this is just like some people's entire vision of the future, where it's just like bots entertaining other bots for like the rest of time or whatever.
God, the dead internet theory is like so cliche now, but it just keeps fucking coming up, man.
I mean, the thing is, like, the thing about the dead internet theory, and like we did an episode about that a long time ago, is when people hear the term, they think, well, oh, if the internet is so full of bots, then like where is everybody, right? And the thing is, like, people are still using the internet. There's probably more people on the internet now than at any other point in recent history or whatever. But the thing is, like, the internet feels dead because it's actually harder to find those people in spite of everybody being online. Like, you have to go out, you have to go out of your way and inconvenience yourself to get any sort of like meaningful connection with another human being, even like a fucking like trivial connection with another human being, because like everywhere you go, no, like nobody makes money off of like you making a friend on Facebook. That's not why Facebook fucking exists. It's so that people can collect the data. It's so that people can make like a fucking simulacrum of like all the good things in life through a bot or like an AI like generator or whatever, and just like make money off of that, like running and like hooking the planet forever. So
that's the thing too, is like, I mean, it extends to so much of the internet now. Like go try to like, you wanna like find new music. You wanna explore new music. How? Fucking Google? You can't even find out a basic fact on Google. You're gonna go to like where else? What are you gonna read? Fucking Pitchfork or Rolling Stone? Do you think they don't fucking have some sort of like low-key payola thing going on? Even if they're not being paid directly, if they're just kind of like, if they have to appease their overlords to get access, like as quote unquote journalists and shit like that. Nah, man, it used to be pretty easy to find communities and blogs and shit like that, but like everything's so fucked now. Everything's pretty bad, but Boomy, well, they were bought by Warner, so they're back in the fucking game. Obviously, Eck is a fan of AI, just like every other dumb fuck tech weirdo. And now Spotify is filled with AI slop, is vibes and mood music and shit like that, which at the end of the day, why? Because nobody at this company gives a fuck about artists or art or music communities or their listeners or their customers.
It's all just metrics. It's all just dopamine. It's the neurons firing in the monkey's brain. It's making the line go up. It's making the number bigger. It's like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, like all this stuff sucks. And like, don't get me wrong. A lot of the way we talk about it is like, yes, this thing sucks and it's lame and it's bullshit or whatever. But like, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting more radical these days, and I think like we need to start talking about this stuff as like this is like an anti-human thing. This is like the sort of like the vision of the future that these people are working towards. It's one that is like completely antithetical to like life itself and like, I don't know, the well-being of living things in general. It's just a completely like inhumane, like sick fucking like plastic view of the world.
And we've seen this like repeat itself with so many different like aspects. It's kind of like with like cable television. It's kind of like, and there's so many like tiers of people. There's people who just like sit there slack jawed on their couch, just
go away. I'm
whatever.
jerking it.
And then there's like the average person who's kind of just like, 100 channels and nothing to watch. Why are there so many fucking ads? But they like continue to use it and they continue to watch it. They'll like complain, but at the end of the day, they fucking turn it on.
Wow, I
And then
can't
there's the
believe
people-
Asmongold said something crazy on his stream today. Fuck.
Yeah, and then there's the people who get more radicalized and they're just like, I'm fucking getting rid of this shit. Like, fuck it. I'll just, like not watch TV or I'll just... And then, like, we saw that and then people, like, go start streaming and they watch things on YouTube or whatever. And then these platforms turn into shit in the same way. And now we're the ones still using YouTube, but then bitching about how bad it is the whole time. And then there gets to a point where there's a whole vanguard of people who are like, fuck this platform, I'm not using it anymore. And then it just repeats. But like, we have to get to a point where we stop just accepting temporarily like a new version of what was shit, where we see it going towards shit. I think at the end of the day, like there's an underlying factor here where it's just like we can't really depend on like some fucking gigacorp to not ruin whatever delivery system we have for fucking art and video and information and all this shit. So
yeah, it needs to be said, like if there's any bit of wisdom to walk away with from today's show, it's that platforms are never your friend, like universally. Like there'll be periods of time where some are better than others. Like I've talked before that like I've gotten a lot out of being on Blue Sky because I'm in a very small niche of like tabletop game nerds, and I have like a 1,000+ followers for that. It's like, okay, cool, the platform is doing something for me, but like at no point in time am I going to delude myself Blue Sky is like a based epic company that's like looking out for the little guy. Like no, they exist because like their niche is like a convenient thing to get a user base from, because a lot of people are mad about Twitter or X.com, the everything app right now. It's like, okay, as soon as like Blue Sky has the means to fuck over small people and the financial incentive to do so, they're going to become another shit ass website just like all the others that people stop using
Without
over
question.
time. It's like, I saw this post a while back about how like if you're like a millennial or something and you grew up on like the various different time periods of the internet, like before and after social media, chances are you have some online friends who you've known for like decades and have followed through like multiple different like websites or services or programs like fucking like Skype and IRC and fucking like LiveJournal or who knows, whatever the fuck, because like all of these things are like, they are not long for this earth. All these things exist like ephemerally, and we need to like, I don't know, just be careful about not consolidating too much like power and attention and like media all in like a single source. And like that's kind of why Spotify is so disgusting to me, because like I joked at the start of the show that we're like the only podcast that has not like acquiesced to them or whatever. I don't know, I think we might be like auto uploading with the way our distributor works or whatever, but like when we started the show we thought about hosting it on Spotify, and it's like, no, it sucks ass. They just want to be like the Walmart or like the YouTube for all podcasts everywhere, and that's like an awful thing. So
exactly, and I've said this before, but like podcasting, it is, as much as people fucking meme about podcasting and shit on it, just because like unfortunately the whole medium has been taken over by like either terrible shitty stand-up comedians or like just like really cringe like NPR style like shitty like liberal fucking talk shows or like weird like finance people or whatever. I don't know. Like
people treat podcasts as like a perfect fit listening. It's all just like the completely generic background noise to be consumed completely passively with your brain turned off.
Right. And that's the thing. Is like the medium could be anything, and there are still a lot of good podcasts out there, and a lot of different like radio shows, like radio dramas and stuff like that. And there are people who are actually like entertaining or have like a coherent thought running through their brain.
I actually kind of love radio dramas. There's something very funny to me about the internet reviving like a medium of art that like faded away in the fucking 1920s or whatever.
Exactly. It's pretty fucking cool. But the cool thing about podcasts is like it's still fundamentally like a decentralized platform. I mean, really, what podcasts still are for the most part is it's just an RSS feed with like an XML link, and you could host the audio anywhere. There are a lot of platforms that host them like in the cloud and shit like that, which we do because it would be not a great idea for a lot of reasons to self-host or to host it on like a static server, and that's fine because it's like there are a bunch of places that do this, but that's the thing is like Spotify wants to control all of them, and that's why they did that deal with Joe Rogan. They want to be the place that everybody listens to their platform on.
Yeah, to not just get Joe Rogan listeners, but to get all the other fucking like clingers on and all the other fucking generic talking heads who just like ape Joe Rogan's like, oh, the wokes won't let me talk about real funny comedy anymore, like all those dipshit podcasts or whatever.
Yeah, and it's all bullshit. And I've when I was using Spotify, I was like, well, I might as well, like listen to podcasts on here and have everything in one app, which I got fucking duped, baby. But it's a shit platform for listening to podcasts. I'm gonna be straight up on. There are so many like decent like aggregator apps for podcasts. Just use any of them. If you use Spotify, I don't like. Whatever, it's on you. But
yeah, there was a post I saw on Blue Sky recently where somebody said in so many words, RSS feeds are the real internet. RSS feeds are the real goddamn internet, and people need to start using them. I feel like, I don't know, I want to start harping on about this more often because I feel like the term like real internet refers to like there are still like actual websites out there where you can go and find interesting things. Like maybe it's harder in some niches than others. Like I work in tabletop games, right? So like that just happens to be a scene where a lot of people do just write like old-fashioned fucking blogs. I can think of like a dozen fucking blogs that are regularly updated with like new interesting stuff to read all the time. But like the thing is, you have to put in like the marginal amount of effort to seek this stuff out. I feel like so much of the modern internet is like completely dog shit because people are willing to just like trade away all the inconvenience of like having to seek things out and just for like the convenience of like a few like small corpo websites to just like hand them everything that they think they want. But like in doing so, like you're trade, like I know this sounds like dramatic and like corny or whatever, but like you are quite literally like trading away your freedom to like to find cool interesting things made by actual people in exchange for like what, like saving a few clicks or whatever. Like I don't know, like maybe just like go back in time to like the 90s or 2000s where if you wanted to find some new music, well, maybe go to a fucking music blog or like go to a forum and ask like real actual people and like make those connections rather than just typing in like, I don't know, chill cozy vibes into the search bar and letting the playlist generate in real time.
Or you know, roll the dice and buy a fucking album, and maybe it sucks or maybe it's good, but it's still gonna be more like meaningful. It's gonna be more of an experience.
Or fucking and, like, steal it. Who gives a shit? I saw one of my favorite pictures on the internet is the System of a Down album called Steal This Album, and then there's like a sticker on the side where some like music store employee wrote please don't.
But it's I mean it all It's fundamentally at the end of the day, it all comes down to fucking money, baby.
It's about the Benjamins, baby.
And I wanted to wrap things up on the thing that everybody brings up when they talk about streaming and Spotify particularly and all this shit, which is the payments. What do they pay the artists? What are artists getting for that? Are they getting fucked over? Are they getting their fair shake? Well, I think you know the answer to that. But like, I mean, I'm not gonna.
Is the answer no?
Yeah. It's no. I mean, like, so I'm not going to get into it, but like historically, and I think most of us know this, like the record companies, they have not. The royalties are generally not a great thing for most artists. A lot of them get fucked over. I mean, traditionally the whole dream with being a musician is you shop a demo, you get signed, and then they give you a record deal. Oh boy.
So many people would give up everything to be the guys who wrote like "Who Let the Dogs Out" or whatever.
Yeah, and where are they now?
Apparently they're still around. I feel like we looked this up recently, but I don't remember what episode that was for.
Good. I hope so. But like they'd get a record deal, and it's usually like they give you an advance, and then like you make a record and it might sell, it might not, but either way you owe the record company a fuck ton of money. And unless this is like a massive hit, you're probably going to get dropped, and you're probably going to like owe them a bunch of money, and you're probably not going to see anything from that. And that's a tale as old as time. But now we get to Spotify, and it's democratized music, and anybody can get on there. Except that's not true, by the way. Just in case anybody wasn't aware, you can't just like upload your music to Spotify. You have to use a distributor service if you don't have a label that does that themselves, and you have to pay them to do that. So
I didn't actually know that. I have no idea how that works. So.
Yeah. A big one is like DistroKid, and there's it, and it costs money. It's not just some like place that you put your shit up and then people download it, and then you get paid directly from Spotify. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I know if you're a game developer and you want to put something on Steam, I think the fee is like $100, which like that's achievable for a lot of people. But like, if you're just starting out, like $100 could be like $100 more than your budget for the game, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and like,
and also in spite of that, a lot of people still shovel like complete acid flip dog shit through in anyway. Right. So like, it doesn't really even deter bad actors. Right.
In this, like the thing with Spotify payments too is it's not the amount of money per stream is the thing that's getting quoted now is like $0.0035, which is like far less than it's like a third of a cent, a little bit more than that per stream. But it's not very clear because they use a very confusing pro rata payout method where it's like all of the money from the streams as an aggregate goes into a pool, and then the pool goes to the like distributors based on like what percentage of their catalog the streams came from. So basically how it works is like the huge artists who are getting a fuck ton of streams, they get their cut, and like the smaller artists, they get scraps if you qualify at all, because you need over 100 streams on a song, or 1,000 streams, sorry, on a song, or you get no money at all. I can't even talk. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, forgive me for taking this to like a dark place with this analogy, but it feels like this is the exact same kind of math equation that I could see like the IDF using to decide how many calories they're gonna be missing in Gaza this week or some shit. It feels that bleak.
It is ridiculous, and like I don't know what the justification for this is. They'd probably be like, well, you can't do it otherwise, but it's like, okay, you can mine everybody's data, you have that technology, but you can't like make a fair payout system. It's all bullshit. And I think a big part of this is that the major labels are negotiating with Spotify directly for what their payout, what their royalty rates are. What are these deals? Well, we don't know because all of the artists have to sign NDAs. So they're purposely keeping it hidden. Why else would they be doing this? Then that's a lot of people are getting fucked over, especially the artists. So it's pretty bad. But wait, there's more. And hey, remember we were talking about payola? And you know how payola's bad and illegal and you shouldn't do it? And old hooker loving Spitzer put the kibosh on payola.
You can't do that on the radio.
Well, payola's back, baby, in the form of promotional rates, or I think they call it discovery mode. And so Spotify makes a little deal with the artists where, we'll push your shit in the algorithm, or we'll give you like we'll give you more exposure, but you have to take lower royalty rates. And obviously, like this is good for like bigger labels because they can take the hit and they don't give a shit about the artist if they even if they have like an okay deal. But obviously this is gonna hurt the indie artists even more. And it's at the end of the day, this is obviously like very predatory. It's
well, never mind the fact that also like there's a limited amount of space on the front page of any given website or app, right? So like even if an indie artist could afford all this stuff, they've already got the first like whatever fucking 90 slots or some shit filled up by music from like Sony Music Group or Warner or whatever.
100%.
So
100%. So this is like it's terrible for everybody because like if you boost, you're taking the pay cut, and also it's burying other artists, which is shitty. But if you don't boost, you're the one getting buried. So everyone is losing here except for Spotify, who's getting their bag either way. So this is the new form of pay for play, and this is another form of data-driven bullshit that they sell the artists. They entice them with the possibility of success if you just take this bad deal. And I think on top of the like taking like a royalty cut, they also have a thing where like you pay for like I think they call it like a marquee, which is basically like a banner ad which pushes your shit. I guarantee none of those sell. Like nobody's clicking on that shit. And you're feeding the artist data. Oh, it's data driven. It's data driven. It's gonna help you become a more famous artist. You're really gonna blow up if you do this. But it's bullshit. So like, so not only are you the Spotify subscriber, a customer that's getting fucked here. They decided, well, they need another customer base here, possibly an even bigger one, is the artists themselves. Is how can we bilk more money out of these people and or make them put all their creative work up here for barely any money. And that's Spotify for artists for you. That's what they call it. Wow, it's so fucking cool. Spotify for artists. Give us
wow, I'm an
more
artist.
money.
It's just for people like me. I can finally succeed. I feel democratized already.
Absolutely, and it's just like it's like the age old little scam that owners of venues and promoters would do, where they're just like, oh yeah, you pay us money to perform here, and in every ticket that gets sold, we'll give you like a cut, and you can keep the profits. But it's like so they're basically like not only fucking getting, like, having somebody pay to work there, to do entertainment there. They're saying they also say, like, oh, you gotta like bring you have to promote this yourself. Like, you're the fucking venue owner. Why are the artists fucking promoting their own shit?
Truly one of the most like frustrating things about being a person trying to like make a living doing creative stuff on the internet these days is that like you can't just be like good at what you do. Everybody has to be their own fucking like social media manager nowadays as well. It's complete dog shit, because like there are so many people who are like amazing like artists and musicians and whatever, who do like incredible things, and they make amazing stuff, and it's like, well, you're cursed with like not having the riz or like fucking cynicism needed to operate a social media account, so sucks to be you or whatever.
Right. You have to be an artist or a creative, and spend all of your time making something that's good and that people like and that's meaningful and takes a lot of time, and you have to hone your skills all the time and produce the art. But you also have to be like a business person, a marketing manager, a promoter. You have to have connections. You have to do all this shit. And it's like, man, who the fuck has time for that? Which is where labels and managers and agents and shit come in. The problem is most of these people and organizations, they don't give a fuck, and their entire like, because they're not creatives. Their whole thing is to just like to just extract as much money out of everyone.
We need to collect more data.
Possible.
We need to make the line go up.
Yeah, I guess the agents just need more data to be more successful there, but like
just a bit more data, guys. Please, we're so close. Just a bit more data.
One more data.
Just one more
datum. Just one more. Give me one more datum, and then everything will be great. Everything will be great. So like, so aside from all this shit, which is bad. I mean, Spotify is a big tech company. What do they all do? They get keep your politics out of my shitty streaming service, but they couldn't do that. As mentioned before, ol Eki boy,
sorry,
has faced a lot of flack lately for being. He's on the board of some fucking company called Helsing, which is like based in Germany, and
wow, just like my anime.
And it's a data. It's a data-driven military AI company, which I think is like I don't know what they actually do. They fucking like train drones on AI. Probably, I don't know.
They have like a color swatch telling you, so target this one.
I was just gonna say it's probably like that fucking Family Guy clip where it's where it's just the skin color swatch. It's like everything below this line you shoot with a rocket.
You joke, but like I would be shocked to find out that the fucking like IDF like weapon system works any differently than that.
Oh yeah, and it's all fucking. These people are obsessed with fucking data and AI. He's a fucking weirdo. He's a piece of shit. I mean, like Spotify, just like all the other tech companies, they got into lobbying DC, for mostly like all the shit with like privacy. They don't want all these pesky rules on privacy and whatever that's in the woke EU.
I mean, why would you need
GDPR
privacy on the internet? Are you going to do something like illegal or perverted? You fucking degenerate freak. Like, why would you like if you've done nothing wrong, you have nothing to hide, right?
How are they going to give you your Spotify Wrapped so you can see what shitty artist you listen to?
We need more data so we can identify which flavor of Faygo you guys are according to the quiz.
But by the way, you can download if you're a Spotify user, there's a way to download your data. And it tells you I think it tells you what your vibes are, if you're like a chill playlist vibe 2 person, or if you like energetic music, or I don't know. I'm pretty sure all of these categories are made by people who like don't experience human emotions and probably can't really like categorize sounds correctly, other than like it bothers me and it doesn't.
Yeah, it really is giving like the emotions matrix, like penned by the Greys visiting Earth or whatever for the first time.
Yeah, and then and as the shit cherry on the also shit cake, it's a double-decker fudge cake.
I was gonna say there's a lot of cake on my plate. I don't know if I can finish all of this.
Well, you just get in there, piggy, because but wait, there's more. They also did union busting to their employees, which I guess is not very common in Sweden. But
that really sucks. I was hoping we could at least have like a unionized, like woman-led AI military company.
Yeah. As long as it's
It's her turn to blow up those kids.
Yeah, an AI drone company, but it's a co-op and woman-owned. Then I'd be fine.
We have free yoga lessons and like a maternity plan that's really great. You just have hit your quota of dead kids for the week.
Yeah, there's a I don't know what. There's everything. There's fucking bagels. They got
for every 10,000 calories you remove from the Gaza Strip this week, we'll add one more slice of pizza to the company pizza party.
Wow. And are we going to get toppings
No,
this time?
it's all cheese.
Oh, okay. Well, it's better than last time. It was just dough.
Yeah.
So we're really
at this data-driven company, we're all about making dough and nothing else, only the dough.
Yummy. Well, that's fucking Spotify. So I guess the question is like, what do we do about all this? Do you have any prescriptive advice for the kids out there on their damn phone, listening to chilled, relaxing music to disassociate to?
Well, I know the first thing I want to do after like breaking down this really really thorough engaging deep dive in episode is I kind of want to go take a shower and just like stare at the wall while the water runs over me for a bit, thinking about the future and why we've allowed this world to manifest.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a pretty good.
So I guess you could say I've got kind of a sad girl vibe going on right now.
Yeah, it's just sad girl vibes to take a depressing shower.
Contemplative shower ambience to study to.
Wow, that sounds like a real banger. But I mean, it doesn't need to be said here. But if you use Spotify, consider not using Spotify. And I know, like, if you're perfectly happy with Spotify and the only issues are, like, ethical ones with, like, payment and the fact that Daniel Ek is a piece of shit, then I don't really care because, like, I use, like, YouTube and stuff, and I think Google is a fucking degenerate company filled with scumbags that should be be put on trial for crimes against humanity. But yeah, like I think there's a more practical reason to get off Spotify is like it's a shit service at the end of the day.
It's not even good. It's not even good at what it does.
It's not even good. The UI fucking sucks. It's hard to find shit. A lot of artists now, maybe not the ones you care about, but a lot of them are pulling their shit off of there for one reason or another. Either the unfairness of the payouts, the weird shit that the company does, the fact that the app fucking sucks, the weird shit that Daniel Ek is doing with drones and stuff like that. Yeah, and like another argument that I hear is like, oh, you know, like all of my library is on there. Like, it's too. And this is like the switching costs thing, right? Like, and I get it. But
I do get it, but I don't know. It's hard for me to be sympathetic because, like, fundamentally, right, the advice I give people is like, don't get too invested in any of these like companies or apps or websites. All of this stuff is ephemeral. Like, you are gonna have to switch sooner or later anyway. So like, don't make the mistake of getting too dependent on any of them in the first place.
Yes, and like that's 100. Like, learn that lesson for sure from here on out. But like, that doesn't help people who are mired in this ecosystem now. But there are services online, certain websites. I forget the name of them, but you could, even though Google is fucking functionally
oink.wank.uk or whatever.
well, no, there are services where you can like dump your library into like a spreadsheet. So at least you have, you know, all of that. You're not going to like forget about. None of your little friends are going to get left behind that you've collected. Which for a lot of people, that's not really a concern because the only thing you listen to is like Hangout Sunday driving beats. Or like whatever, like Gen Z hip lowercase letters playlist.
Epic vibes to eat
like,
bacon 2 playlists.
Yeah, that they try to like sell to you as this like disaffected like indie playlist when really it's the same like 7 fucking shitty like TikTok tracks played in sequence. But
what if we were sad girls at the Chuck E. Cheese 5 hours playlist?
Oh, see, that one I would listen to actually. But I used one of these services when I got off Spotify. I collected a lot of this music from Bandcamp and other places, the ones that I wanted to keep for my own. And put in my little pocket, in my Zune. If you don't have a Zune,
are Zunes still a thing? I thought they got discontinued.
I really don't think so.
Like a rare bit of tech or whatever. I don't know.
I don't think there are any like big company MP3 player. They probably still exist, but it's probably like made from some like shitty Chinese factory.
Yeah, there might be a way to hack it. I know a lot of people are big about like the PS Vita. Apparently, you can put Linux on that thing and play a lot of old games on there. So yeah.
But I mean, most people have phones, so they do that. But I do have a collection. And I had a collection before, and now I'm back to the collection. And I'm getting back.
My collection is a series of completely labyrinthine folders on my hard drive.
Yeah,
of music.
Yeah, I have two folders. One is things that have been sorted and things that have been unsorted. And since I've been collecting for so long, that a lot of this shit is very much unsorted. But I will give a shout out to a.
Is that where you keep your taxes as well?
No, there's just music in there. I delineate all of my folders. I also, yeah. But there's another app called Music Brains with a Z because it's very zany.
Well, that's how I know they're speaking my language because they're cool and with it.
Yeah, it's hello, fellow kids. If you like Well, if you don't like
Only 90s kids will remember this.
if you don't like organizing and retagging your shit, well, this app does it for you with like the I think the Discogs catalog of shit. Yeah.
I think if you guys don't like organizing and cataloging things, you guys need to get a little more autistic. Like, just please.
For real. Like, seriously, like, grow the fuck up. Like, if you can't, here's another thing. And now I'm gonna get tough. Now I'm gonna get tough dad here. If you can't handle, like, collecting music and like putting it in a folder or let's not forget, like, you can still get, like, there's a big vinyl resurgence. Cassettes are back. Like, that's fun. I fuck with analog media. You can get a lot of stuff here, and we are seeing that come back because I think a lot of the kids these days are getting sick of fucking playlists to get scolded by their teacher too. The children yearn to touch a slightly toxic material, and so we're going back to vinyl. We're getting some old magnetic tapes back.
You like Huey Lewis and the News?
But if you can't handle putting things in a folder, putting things in a box, whatever you need to do to handle like owning music. Do you like I truly would like to know, do you like wash the dishes? Do you shower? Do you brush your teeth? I'm
gonna be meaner. I feel like, I don't know, like, deep down, the way I really feel about it is I feel like people who aren't willing to like put in the bare minimum to like seek out and like organize like the art and media that they like, I think you guys just don't deserve it. Like, if you're not willing to like, I don't know, put in the bare minimum effort to like find interesting things to listen to and like actually, you know, connect with other human beings about this like really cool like bullshit creative stuff that we make, you know, the whole reason that like humanity is interesting in the first place, like, I don't know, I think you don't deserve it if you're not willing to put that in. I feel like you get out of art what you put into it, and like a lot of people put in fucking nothing, and that's why it sucks these days. Yeah,
so fuck you. And also, I don't know, just listen to the radio then. It's free.
Like maybe have a relationship with the media you consume that isn't fucking like parasitic in either direction.
Yeah, and like if you want to just be force-fed slop by a shitty company, just listen to the radio is free. It's through the airwaves right now.
Yeah, or donate $6 a month to our Patreon and I'll shove it in your mouth myself.
True. I do have my own jellyfin music server, which I slowly put things on. And
I'll get my fingers up in there. I will feed you guys some good music like a baby bird.
Yeah. If you donate $1,000 on Patreon.
Yeah, that's the new tier.
I'll give you access to this server. And all of that money will go to the rights holders. The record companies, not the artists themselves. It's that's between them and God. I follow the laws here. So that's all I have to say. Don't break any laws. First and foremost, just to wrap things up, we would not advocate for that.
Don't ever break the law, but do break the record for this is now officially the longest episode of the show we've ever done.
Is it? Yeah, it probably is. But that makes sense. We're putting it all out there, one long episode at a time. See, this is a great little analogy to one good high-ish effort thing instead of a never-ending stream of slop. But you don't have to choose with Super Despair World, because if you do want a constant stream of low-effort slop, you can join our Patreon and donate just a mere sinister $6 to get access to our to our weekly bonos, where we'd have an episode like this, except we have absolutely nothing planned. But they still end up pretty good. We just recorded one a couple days ago, which was a real knee slapper, I would say.
Yeah, I hope you guys like the new format. I think if you only listen for free on YouTube or whatever, it might seem like the show is slowing down a lot. But I think at the end of the month, like a month or two from now, if you do the math, I'm pretty sure we're only producing more show than we've ever done before. It's just that a lot of the lower effort, like off the cuff stuff, is it's going to be on Patreon now. A lot of the stuff that maybe shouldn't have been an episode, but like whatever, we can riff on it. It'll be there. So if you want to get your fix every week, it only costs a few bucks. I feel good about this one, and I feel fucking awful about this dog shit evil industry, and I feel like that might be a recurring theme for the show from here on out. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of has been, but we had to air this one out. And yeah, so like, I don't know. In conclusion, fuck Spotify, but not fuck our dear Sinister Six sweeties who have been. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Nick, Weasel, Nilly, Hersey, Patty, Clam, and Walker. We love you dearly. OGs. And NGs.
Putting on my best like Marvel Cinematic Universe voice, like, so what is this? Some kind of super despair world?
Yeah, I really like that scene when
I think that might have been from a DC movie. I think that was Suicide Squad. Whatever.
It's super despair in time. And we fought.
It's force feminized in time. All right. Well, this was a long one. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next month. I think we'll see how it goes. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Fuck yeah. Hope you guys like the new format. And if you don't, I don't really give a shit. Fuck you. But anyways, good fight, good night.
Ick.
I'm keeping that in.